Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Oh,
How are you?
look at it, Jenny.
Today.
You see what he did, Jenny? He got a sport coat and slacks on. Now, this is not your normal ensemble. Now, don't talk about, oh, I come like this all the time. Sport coat and slacks, huh, Skip?
Somebody pays really close attention to what somebody else is wearing.
Doesn't miss a
And
beat.
somebody on this side never even notices what somebody on that
got
side
a new little outfit. Guess what?
It's an old
No, ain't old. Ain't nobody seen that one before. But it's going to end up like it's going to end up like the old ones with defeat, covered in defeat.
Feeling really good.
That's okay.
Feeling good is a
Super
good
Bowl,
sign.
here we come.
Boy, we're jumping
we are
on
going
that one.
we are going to Miami.
We are going to be there. I don't know about his team. We'll see about that. Packed show, guys. Is Tom Brady more marketable than reigning MVP Pat Mahomes, Shannon? And Eric Dickerson tells us who he thinks is the best running back in the league. But first, hey, Zeke watch continues. Jerry Jones squashed any rumors that Zeke was recently offered any new deals yesterday during an interview with a local Dallas radio station. Jerry said there is nothing new to report with the negotiations. Jones also said that the team was prepared to play without certain players due to injury, suspension, or even a holdout. When asked if the Cowboys would need to lighten Zeke's load for Week 1, Jerry had this to say.
Listen, we've got a marathon here, and we want Zeke when we get to the playoffs. We want Zeke when we're in the dog days of this season. And as you well know, you have to plan your personnel and you have to manage a player the caliber of Zeke. You have to, as to what parts of the game you use him, how much rest you use him. And so fresh Zeke, as we got on into the end of the season, would be great.
Well, Shannon, how many games will Zeke miss during his holdout?
Oh, Skip, what happened?
games?
What happened, Skip, to Tuesday? You know, you say you're not worried till Labor Day, right?
We're getting
It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Ain't Labor Day?
Not
No.
yet.
I must have overslept. I don't know.
I believe he will miss a minimum of 4 games. This doesn't sound like the positive Jerry Jones, Skip, the guys that says wouldn't use the word holdout. Zeke just hasn't reported yet. Remember, that was the big thing, Skip. He hasn't reported yet. This isn't a holdout. Now, let me tell you what Jerry said. Now, this is what Jerry said a couple of weeks ago. It's too good for them, and it's too good for the Cowboys. Let me say that again, Jenny. It's too good for them.
said that.
It's too good for the Cowboys. Now we want a fresh Zeke when it comes playoffs time. Now, I just want you to know, Jerry, you've been very dismissive of these other teams. You automatically assuming that Skip Bayless hates that. Skip Bayless hates when someone says, oh, you like these other teams just going to lay down for you.
Doesn't work that way.
Now he says he wants to manage a player of Zeke's caliber. He wants to manage his load. Now, this is what he said back in 2016. The more we can give Ezekiel the ball, the better. Now you want to pay a guy X amount of dollars and lessen his load. Where do you get more money and do less work? Where do you do that at, Skip? I want that job.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love it. The only thing that's going to get these sides to move one way or another, and I believe Jerry Jones is doing this because he looked at the schedule and he says we have some very favorable matchups early on. Now, we know during the course of the year, there'll be teams that you look at like they're not going to be very good and they're better than you think. And there are some teams that you look at and you say, oh, they're going to be pretty good, and they're not as good as you think. Jerry Jones is looking at the schedule, Skip. He's looking at like, we got the Giants, they're not very good. We got Miami. Now, let's just say for the sake of argument, they had the Patriots, the Saints, the Eagles to start the season. I think we see Jerry Jones singing a little different tune. But he does not seem as positive as he once did. These things get done. Oh, it's going to get done. Now he's talking about not a fresh Zeke come playoff time wouldn't be such a bad thing. That doesn't sound like a guy that this deal is right around the corner because, excuse me, as he said, there have been no movement. It's been reported that the Cowboys have not offered anything different than what they had at the beginning. So Zeke, like, well, I'm not motivated to move. One thing is going to move the player or the team one way or another. The schedule, the record. That's going to move the Cowboys or that's going to move Zeke. It's as simple as that.
Jenny, I got to tell you,
What's up?
I feel so sorry for my partner across the table.
But you feel sorry for me?
Sorry for him.
I just feel so sorry. I'm highly amused, but also feeling sorrier by the day for him because he has become a puppet on the strings being pulled by my owner, Jerry Jones. He has become a victim and a prisoner of Jerry's ever-changing, wildly erratic and misleading rhetoric. Because that's what Jerry's doing right now. He's negotiating. He's playing good cop with this comment and then bad cop with that comment. And Shannon will be in uniform and in the lineup for game 1, signed, sealed, and delivered by Jerry Jones.
I want 10 cases to do right now.
Okay, 10 cases. You got it.
10 cases,
Game
Skip
1.
Bayless.
Game 1.
Game 1.
Game
Okay.
1. You are wildly overreacting to what is just a classic negotiation. And the master negotiator that I have ever encountered in all my years of covering pro football or pro sports dating back to the 1970s is Gerald Wayne Jones Jr., one Jerry Jones. This is what he does best. Jerry says a lot of dumb things, but he ain't stupid when it comes to managing the salary cap and negotiating contracts, playing the game, as I call it, of blink, as in who will blink first. Jerry does feel like he has some new advantage because he's no longer working without a safety net, because he has had Tony, don't call me Mike Pollard, fall right into his lap, right straight out of the heaven.
Boy.
That is the 4th round for the Dallas Cowboys. He now has the Dak Prescott of running backs, Tony Pollard, the rookie, and he has seen enough, and Zach Martin, as we heard yesterday, has seen enough, and I told you early on, I've seen enough to say he is a quality NFL back. He is not Ezekiel Elliott, but they could win 2 games. They could probably go 3-1 in 4 games with Tony Pollard as the lead back, as the bell cow back, as the between the tackles running back that he was underutilized as at Memphis. That was the coach's fault. And again, Will McClay.
How do you know that was the coach's fault?
Well,
Maybe he couldn't beat the other guys out.
I know what I saw when I watched Memphis play. This kid would flash. And Darrell Henderson was drafted in the 3rd round by the Rams. And he was more of a battering ram, you know, between the tackles. Okay, good luck. So we'll see as the years wear on. We'll see whether the 3rd rounder is better than the 4th rounder, won't we?
You see what you did there?
Well, I didn't do anything.
Who's better, the 3rd or the 4th rounder? Well, put Henderson with that offensive line.
Oh, well, there we go. That's a big part of the equation. Jerry's got that on his side, too.
Okay, but Skip. Okay, Jerry also said, Skip, he wants to manage Zeke's minutes and things of that nature. Okay, you want to manage a guy's minutes. Let's just take basketball. They said that, okay, when LeBron came back from injury, they wanted him to play somewhere around 32 minutes. Okay, that's fine and good if you're blowing teams out. But what happened if you're up 1, down 1? And 32 minutes go to 36 minutes. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip Bayless, Zeke has 28 carries, and you need to run out the clock in the last 5 minutes, and you got a 3rd and 1. Tony Pollard carrying the ball?
Absolutely.
Skip Bayless, stop playing now.
He didn't ever carry the ball at Memphis. Good, he's fresh. He's completely healthy.
I can assure you, if Ezekiel Elliott is on the team, Tony Pollard is not carrying the ball at 3rd and 1.
Sure, I agree. I've told you from day one, Tony Pollard gives you a good 1A back, a backup back, who can split share some of the load with Zeke and extend Zeke's career.
I'm saying, he says he wants to manage Zeke's minutes. Okay, which means he wants to manage his carries. All I'm saying is if Zeke's at 30 carries, 28, 30 carries, it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Okay. Or you going to say, well, you know what? Zeke's at that 30 carry mark. We can't give him the ball anymore. Yeah. Tony, get in there. You and I both know if Zeke Elliott's on that team.
Well, obviously. Why are we even discussing that? That's just silly. That's completely off point.
Well, you call Jerry silly.
I didn't call him silly.
Yeah, you did.
I said Jerry's going to get this done. He's not saying managing minutes. He's talking about keeping Zeke away from out of harm's way. And I've told you from the start, I'm just going to have to reiterate what I keep saying day after day. This has worked out beautifully for both parties involved because Zeke has been kept off the camp practice field, where every once in a while the injury gods point their finger down at somebody, and it's it's just so egregious and so unfair that somebody gets hurt and lost for the year in a camp practice.
Yeah.
I sleep in fear of camp practices because I covered too many of them, and there are too many goal line drills where the running back, or even 7-on-7, so you never know.
Right.
You plant, you cut, just one little wrong move.
It's football.
And you're gone for the whole beautiful thing to watch that Zeke has been reportedly in Cabo for all these weeks, trying to stay in some shape. Obviously, he's not in game shape.